Don't you feel like everyone who lives in a high-rise building enjoys a higher floor more than a lower floor?
Well, of course, the view is much nicer when you are in high above ground, of course.
That's true, undeniable. But do you know that there are actually a lot of benefits of choosing a lower floor too?
Really? What's up, everybody? Welcome to VC. My name is Vincent.
And I'm Chloe. It's been a while since we've actually posted an educational sharing type of video, but we're here back to share with you more videos like this. Anyways, we actually had several clients contemplating if they should be getting the higher floor unit or lower floor unit.
After choosing a property you're interested in, you like the facility, the amenities, the location, you also have picked the right floor to choose to live on, so you would be enjoyed to stay, right? But generally, most would pick a higher floor due to the security, the view, the privacy, and many more. Some even stand strong on their point: the higher the floor is, the better it is.
So our topic for today will be sharing with you some factors that you should consider when you are choosing a floor level for your property purchase. Just for your information, what we're comparing today is in a condominium, basically a property that has elevators.
Yep, first and foremost, the most obvious one is the price. It is known as the higher floor premium. In Malaysia, we sometimes see condominium floor plans priced ascending orders, right? Which means the higher floor it is, the more expensive it gets. Now, this is because higher floor are seen as more attractive, so many people are willing to pay for it, right? Even though the layout, the size of the unit is exactly the same.
Now, not everyone is able to afford a higher floor because of the higher price. For example, if in condominium, each floor difference is 5,000 ringgit. Comparing with the 5th floor and the 20th floor, it is a difference of 75,000, which is a huge amount of money. Don't forget that this will affect your other payments when buying a property, such as your down payments, your legal fees, and etc. So a lower floor is definitely much more cheaper. Secondly would be the view. The most attractive part of a higher floor is the view. Whether it is a sea view, a mountain view, or even the Petronas Twin Towers view, you can't deny that it is breathtaking to come home to an unobstructed view after a busy day work. But lower floors, on the other hand, more likely have lesser views to enjoy.
Yep, this is also depends on the development itself. Like if you tell us that the property you like is a lakeside view, and despite being on the first floor, you can already see the lake, right? So it's good for you. But generally, lower floor are blocked by other buildings, so make sure that you check on that before continue on your purchase. Not to mention that some developments are close to cemetery. Imagine living at a level 5, you could see a beautiful view of a hill in front of you. But if you're living at a level 25, you could see over a hill and ended up being a cemetery. Yeah, this is very subjective.
Next, accessibilities. The higher floors of the buildings are less accessible. Even just by waiting for the elevator, it takes longer compared to lower floors, as there are simply more tenants and floors to pass.
Yep. On the other hand, if you're living on the lower floor, you spend less time waiting for lift and also waiting in the lifts. Not to mention, in any case of emergency, whether it is a fire breakout or any other emergency, it is safe and easier to leave the building. Right, as taking the stairs won't be a drag. Maybe the lift you just decided to break down and take a day off or something. You won't have to climb 20 floors in order to get to your home.
Other than accessibilities, another factor that you should consider is lighting and temperature. Logically, higher floors tend to enjoy more natural light compared to lower floors, but this also might cause higher floors to experience warmer temperature, especially during daytimes because you are technically closer to the light source. While lower floors may receive less natural light, but they would also have cooler air.
But when it comes to ventilation and air quality, no doubt that higher floor tends to benefit from cooler breeze, especially during the nighttime with a stronger wind and cleaner air. Since you are far higher above from the polluted air, lower floor might not be able to enjoy as much as the cooler breeze or cleaner air as the higher floor does. But do take note that this will depending on the development itself, as some developments have forestry concept or something like that, surrounded by greeneries, therefore your air will be cleaner.
Now remember, we mentioned the factor of light and temperature just a while ago. If you're closer to the sun, which means it is hotter, right? Which also means that you would be using much more electricity because of the air cons you'll be turning on. This leads to the next factor that you have to consider, which is energy consumption. This also kind of depends if you are always home during the day, as some clients nowadays start to work from home more often as it is considered a norm to most. So if you live on a higher floor, you may turn on the aircon or fans more often compared to lower floors.
Yep, but during the nighttime, the ground is warmer, which means lower floor would need air conditioning during the nighttime, while people lives in a higher floor can actually enjoy the night breeze. But most of us have our aircon turned on at the night, so it depends on you, right? So the seventh factor would be none other than the noise level. Higher floor units are generally considered as peaceful and noise-free, but that's not always the case. This is really depending on the development itself, what floor your building facility are on. If it's located at the top floor and few levels below would be definitely hearing all sorts of noise going above there, right? Remember that most sky decks or any other barbecue like sky whatsoever they call it, they are mostly on the rooftop, which cause all of the noise.
Yeah, so lower floors, well, they are just close to the ground. So if there's a main road nearby, good luck hearing those traffic noises. So remember to check on this before continuing with your purchase or rental.
Yep, so what about the pests?
Those creepy crawling insects and bugs like cockroaches, mosquitoes, and rats. They are commonly found on lower floors units because it is easier for them to access to those levels and make way to your home. But this doesn't mean that higher floors are immune to pests. Your hygiene and overall cleanliness also plays a big role. Sometimes you might be surprised on how high a floor they can emerge on.
Yep. In addition, another factor that no one actually look over is the security. Accessibility to the higher floor requires more stairs, elevator, and more windows. This makes it less likely for a break-in to occur as thieves tend to choose a place with a quick gateway. Now, as this being said, doesn't mean that the higher floor doesn't have disadvantages. Like we said just now about accessibility, higher floor have more fire safety concern compared to lower floor. And do you know that about the plumbing system is also one of the factors that home buyers should consider? Let's say if you're living in the topmost floor, you are actually most likely to sustain water damage since you are right below the roof or maybe swimming pool upstairs, right?
Many high-rise buildings claim that you can enjoy high water pressure if you're living on the lower floor since the water tanks are usually on top of the roof and then vice versa. This is not entirely false, but it depends on the development itself. If the building exceeds a certain height and the water pressure may be affected for higher floors, they will install something called a break tank in the middle of the building. So remember to check this too.
Yep, those are the things that you should consider mostly if you are a resident in the building. But when it comes to investor, those things don't actually entirely matter to you, right?
Yep.
So the next point is the rental return.
No doubt that higher floors are usually in more demand compared to lower floors, but there are actually no certain fact or clear statistics to show that rental returns are better for higher floors.
Yeah, come to think about it, the difference between a higher floor or a lower floor rental price may differ around 100 or 200 ringgit. It is not a drastic difference. If you do the calculation, consider the higher floor is more expensive, it is actually quite the same. Not to mention if you're looking for a commercial building, maybe doing Airbnb short-term stay, tenants don't actually look at what floor they're staying. It's all about demand supply, right?
Yeah, take it as an example. If you're traveling abroad, living in a hotel, you just book it, right? You don't tell them like you want a higher floor, right? Since it's a short-term stay, most actually don't care about that. It's the occupancy rate that matters in rental returns.
Yep, if you all remember from our previous investment video, other than rental return, the other thing that you should consider is the capital appreciation. Now, this is your exit plan. When you want to sell a property, do you think that a higher floor would be easier to sell, or maybe it has higher demand compared to a lower floor? Well, the answer is yes, since probably you brought the higher floor for a better view. Other does too.
There's a but to this though. There's actually no guarantee that the view won't change. Whether there's a new development springing up, maybe just right next to your building too, or a railway might be built nearby, or an unappealing building might be constructed within sight from the higher floors. In such cases, the lower floor units might actually fetch more capital appreciation. So do check with the right person you're dealing with whether there's a potential of a new development being built nearby your building.
Yep, you don't want to buy a building just because it has KLCC view or any sunset view or something like that, but ended up being blocked by another new building in the upcoming few years.
Yeah, I think that's about it. We could go on and on about this, but it'll go down to which development you are looking at. And remember to do your research to the fullest and not be swayed away by general things mentioned by the salesperson without a solid fact.
Buying a property, especially for your own stay, is very personal, so don't forget about consider who is living with you. If you're buying a property for your parents, consider getting a lower floor for them. It's more convenient in the future unless they are very persistent about getting high floor. But when it comes to old folks living alone, they would have to carry the groceries, other concerns kicks in when they have to stand or walk longer just to get to their home. Yep.
Also, if you're a first-home buyer and still confused on what are the steps of buying a property, check out our video right here to know more about the process of home buying. We'll link it down below just in case you've missed it.
Yep, that's all from us today. Thank you for watching. If you gain some new knowledge from this video, do give us a like and consider subscribing as we post a lot of property-related content here in this channel. Join the VC family, and also wrapping up 2021 with all the blessings. Wishing all of you a happy new year of 2022. Thank you for watching, and we will see you
in the next video.
Ciao!